Hello, welcome.
Hello everybody, so good to see you again.
We are Esther and Assar.
You might know us already or not.
We are here in Switzerland right now, and we would like to introduce our new daughter to you.
Yes.
It has been a long process. Maybe you have seen or heard that there is many wars in the galaxy. There have been, as you know, from Star Wars or maybe from Star Trek also. There have been many wars and are still ongoing wars. And
as above, so below.
As above, so below, yeah. And there's two main factions, the Draconians and the Arcturians. And in the Galactic Earth Peace Projects, we have been allowed since 2 years to actively work to bring peace between these two wonderful big races, the Draconians, which are also running our slave planet here. Earth is one of their colonies, and the beautiful Arcturians.
Who are really the guardians, you could say.
They
galaxy.
have made sure our Earth hasn't been blown up by the Draconians.
And these races are really more and more getting acquainted these days. And we as humans also have a role to play in that. Sometimes we make ourselves small, but they actually make us pretty big. And that's for a reason, because human consciousness is apparently a very special consciousness in this galaxy. And that's also for a reason, because we are actually a melting pot of all these different star races.
Yeah, we have a reptiloid brain, for example, we've learned at school. And we have also carried their DNA and DNAs of many other races. Yeah. So we have also lineages. I have lineages with the Arcturians and the Draconians, funnily enough. So that makes us ideal mediators between these races, and we've been doing that with a group of over 200-300 people now in the Galactic Earth Peace Project. If you want to join us, that would be beautiful. And we normally constantly speak to these races to bring more and more peace, and that has been very successful, especially in the last 2 years. And they have started factions of the Draconians that went more and more into the light.
Yeah.
They have then at one point suggested to the Arcturians that they would like to make a crossbreed between Draconian and the Arcturian race. And I thought, well, okay, that might take years before the Arcturians agree to that. But funnily enough, last year they said, oh, would you be ready? We want to make a crossbreed, and wouldn't you want to be the humanoid parents?
Yeah. It's apparently very normal for extraterrestrials to hybridize. That's their way of keeping variation in their gene pool. And it's really a beautiful way of creating a new Earth also. That there are so many different qualities being brought together. And the Arcturians have their qualities. The Dracos also have their qualities. They have always had a void heart, and now that's becoming filled up again with their soul. And they are very powerful, very direct, clear beings. So, and of course, we as humans have our beautiful experiences and characteristics. So if you can melt all of that together, then you can have a beautiful race that can mediate between all these races.
Hopefully.
And
that was the plan,
that's
at least.
the plan of our daughter. She's residing in my belly. She's a 6-dimensional creature, and her name is Xiara Blue. Assar wrote a beautiful song for her, which she will sing anytime soon. And I can show you actually a little bit my belly. She is now in my belly for, 2 months, and we have another 4 to go. It's a 6-month pregnancy. She will then also come in a higher dimension, just like our previous 2 daughters, Star and Nebula. They also reside in higher dimensions, and they live either in inner Earth, like Star, or on a spacecraft, like Nebula, where they both do their beautiful work of peace and love for Gaia.
And we're, of course, not the only ones.
No.
There's 10,000s, 100,000s.
Healers, light workers.
Children, multi-D children. Maybe Star wants to speak about that. Star, what do you say? You meet many of those children. Many ascended masters are coming back, and they normally already live in a higher dimension. Some also come to Earth in the 3rd dimension, but many already live in the higher dimensions. And Star is meeting them. Maybe she wants.
Maybe that's for another video.
Let's see.
This one, I think, is also for Blue. But it's really, in fact, becoming more and more normal. These children find their parents, and that's mostly light workers and healers who have very open and nicely cleared energy bodies. We have a Telegram group on it with almost, I think, 200 people in there. And many of them are women, but there's also men who can carry children of light in special ways. And there's all sorts of different possibilities regarding these pregnancies. In our case, it's really between us and the beautiful Arcturians and Draconians. But there's other ways as well. So if you're interested, please join our Telegram group.
And if you have a big belly all of a sudden and you wonder why you haven't eaten too much cake,
it could really be a light child that has found its way into your column. And that's always on the level of the soul, that's always agreed upon. It's a very special time on Earth. We are really moving upwards through the dimensions and blending them all in. The veils are lifting and new children are being born. So let's see if we can connect with Blue, Xiara Blue. She is an Arcturian soul. She has always been Arcturian. And now she is coming to peace. And that's funny because that's really the work she will do. Build peace between those races, stabilize the fields, like they used to do in old times when kings married out their daughters to a neighboring tribe, so they could also make certain there would be no war. And that's really why these races are building bridges these days. So let's see if we can get a hold on Blue, Xiara Blue. Might take a little while before she comes. I channel.
I'll sing you a little bit of the song.
Yes, it's such a beautiful song. Enjoy.
Xiara Blue, we welcome you. Your heart so open and so true. You are a courageous soul, coming down to earth for peace between our races. What a masterpiece. Arcturian soul with Draco genes and human parents to bring peace to Mother You are so curious, and you wanna know our ways of living, why things are so. Xiara Blue.
Blue.
And a sweet one.
Blue is arriving one moment. Here I speed Blue. Xiara Blue is, of course, always ready whenever my mother allows me to. I am residing in her womb, and I understand we are speaking to a device, and the device will share our message with multiple people. It's still a bit old-fashioned. I like the style. Earth is so much slow motioned. It's fantastic. You record it, you send it around, and then it finds people. It's so intriguing for an Arcturian being to understand more of the workings about on Earth. I can share so many gifts with you, but maybe you have also seen them. Earth, what a planet! What a place! I can't stop talking about it. Ever since I landed in the belly of my mom about a few weeks ago, it feels even longer because I've experienced so much in the meantime. I have fallen in love with your planet. I can say our planet these days. For an Arcturian, that's pretty special, even though of course there are many star seeds amongst you, more denser outfitted humans. Many of you have been Arcturian, but I carry no veils of forgetfulness. I carry my lineage of Arcturianism with me, and yet now I can also fully experience and tap into a humanoid experience. My first humanoid experience, and I can tell you, I hope it will not be my last. I fell in love with this planet. It is a planet that we only know from above. As Arcturians, we always gaze from our craft down, and we see and sense, we monitor and measure. Where do we need to send holograms of kindness? Where is the time right to implement more spacecraft? Where is something hovering that could be called a blanket of darkness that is allowed to be removed? Arcturians are always monitoring, gazing down, monitoring, gazing down, and for us it looks sometimes like Earth is blanketed in a bit of darkness, a dark blanket that is lifting these days. However, from our perspective high above, it still looks like a bit of a shrunk place where consciousness is only now again really starting to thrive. Blue, Xiara Blue is the name I have been gifted. Blue because of my color. My color is blue because many ancient Arcturians are blue. It's the skin color we choose by the amount of light that is shining through our skin. Our skin is not blue, it's the light that passes through it that makes us look blue. Blue by nature is our favorite color. However, in my case nowadays, I have to admit I'm a tiny bit torn apart inside sometimes because I also carry a humanoid lineage and a bit of draconian. Draconians don't carry any real blue color. They have a bit more of a muddy look out, and I start to have patches of darker muddy colors inside my small little shape that is growing every day a little bit more in my mother's womb. I see, therefore, that the Arcturian blue colors are shifting. They are also incorporating more muddy looks, and this tumulted me when I first saw my shape, my sweet little shape, changing color from beautiful, precious Arcturian blue to muddy patches that were infiltrating my original color. I cried a bit, you could say, and I spoke to my dear mother and father on this earth about it, and they helped me to caress my heart, and I came into a deep peace. Peace with the path I have chosen, and I can't tell you enough how much I've started to love your planet. What a place is this? It's incomparable. When you are used to spacecraft, which we are, we have no real planet underneath our feet, no living ground. We have magnetic fields that keep us grounded, that keep us from floating through space and air. We don't have a living organism that carries us day and night. On a spacecraft, when you look around or when you go from hall to hall, you meet so many beings all the time. There is no privacy. Everybody is in their heart, everybody is harmonized in peace, everybody has a very clear, transparent I love all that is motion around them. However, we are always there, always running into each other, even though it goes smooth. When I go out here in the fields, there is nobody, only God, creation, consciousness fields. That's what I sense when we gaze at the winds and the clouds and the fields and the trees. Sometimes a little animal pops up and it runs away, and again the field is empty, void. However, in that void, I experience a deep homecoming. I can't express it differently. A deep homecoming that I know already very well. The feeling of being connected with all that is, and yet on earth I could not always easily find it, since I also feel emotions passing through, feelings of separation, doubt, anger. It's all passing through, just like the bliss, just like a love-making field that expands as I'm there. It's very, very marvelous. I fell in love with your planet, and with this little note, I want to petition you. Do you still love your planet too? And if you forgot about loving your planet, what is it that you need in your heart to start looking at her again with new eyes? Maybe eyes of a only very small little Arcturian creature that shares with you now her own experiences. I am in love with our planet. I can share as this much with you right now, and I'm certain my father will have a lovely question for me, because he's very engaged with Blue's experiences here. How are you, my dear father? How my mother is doing, I know very well. I am here. I sense everything she senses. We are one right now. Mother and daughter, daughter and mother. When she smiles, I'm happy and relaxed. When she is a bit teary, I feel contracted inside too. When it's cleared, I am also able to unwind again. We go hand in hand like a waveform, hand in hand, mother and child, mother and child. How my dad is doing, I also know fairly well, and yet I want to ask it to you myself, because I know it does a human very well to speak the truth about their feelings. I'm learning this very, very profoundly. If I feel small and contracted and a bit teary about the changing colors of my shape, it's good that I say that I'm sad and even angry. And then when I share that, it miraculously passes on. May I ask you, my dear father, how do you feel today?
Yeah, I feel wonderful, Xiara Blue. Thanks for asking. It really touches me what you are sharing. It's so beautiful to see you come here to Earth, and your perspective, also how you're learning and probably feeding back to your Arcturian tribes what you're experiencing here. It's so beautiful to sense that. So you want to share a little bit about your draconian side?
Blue, Xiara Blue, can sense it does my father well. There is many kind beings in your life these days, and I sense your heart chakras are opening more and more. Humans mostly have two heart chakras, a lower and a higher. My mother is also getting a third one since she really downloaded a beautiful creature we know very well. Her name is Lady Isis, and therefore there is a third heart chakra from her oversoul that is becoming activated. Blue has even more heart chakra because I need to start incorporating different lineages. That can only be done when the hearts are really beating for all the backgrounds, not just my Arcturian lineage that I know so very well, but also my Draconian lineage that I also know very well, but by shooting at them from very big mothercraft. It's very important for a creature like myself. I keep my heart wide open also to my humanoid experience. The humanoid experience is something very precious to me. However, it's also bumpy, and this is why I'm learning. My heart, it's in development. I will have 5, 6, maybe 7 heart chakra. I will see how many I can open at the same time. It's really my deepest wish that I can keep them open without them closing again, because this is very tiresome. All the time opening, closing, closing, opening, opening, closing. It costs so much energy. I wish I could find a way to keep all my heart chakra open, and I found the way, and I see my father found exactly the same way. It's called hugging. Hugging dear ones. Hugging, cuddling, holding. It's fantastic. It's one of the greatest tools out there, and I would say, as a human with a physical body, really indulge upon it. When you are in a more etheric plane, like I am in the 6th, and I will also perform in the 7th and the 8th later, it is a bit different to have an engagement. Even though it's still there, it is experienced in a less dense way. Of course, there's no problem in that. However, what I mean to say, if you feel things close you off, find a way that opens you by relaxing your body. A physical body is more dense. That's why it also needs a touch to open once again. Every time my dear father has a hug, and he receives many these days, I'm very excited for him. His heart chakra open like a blossoming flower. Even though I don't see them physically yet, I can perceive them through the eyes of my mom. When she's in the garden and sees a flower, I sense her heart is softening. The heart likes to indulge upon hugs. When my mother being is hugged and snuggled by my father or by a kind dear friend, I sense so much relaxation coming into her, and Blue is really lying like this in her room. Ah, another hug. More of that, please. I feel very caressed as well. Heart chakra open best by hugs. This is what I have experienced thus far. We do other nice things too. We do healings. We talk to very nice beings in all the dimensions. There is a being that comes in sometimes called Mark. He takes us to a very high dimension and he brings us kind of back. However, it's not the same as a hug. A hug. A physical, warm, kind hug that lasts longer than 1 second. That's the best gift I believe thus far that you can give and receive. It's for free. Everybody loves it, and I'm really, really excited to see what would happen if humans would hug more. Ask for more hugs. Also ask if they can give someone a hug who is a bit teary. Don't do all the talkings. The talkings about the problems get you stuck in the head, which creates more problems. Just ask the person, shall I first give you a hug? And then we can still see if we want to talk about it. Hug, please, do this, do this, do this. I can't explain to you how much love and caress is coming from a hug. I read it in your heart chakra, I sense it in my mother's heart, and I sense it in my small shape that is really fruitioning with beautiful blue colors, which of course, as you understand, I like very dear.
Yeah, that's true. I really have the feeling I have 4 heart chakras these days. So there is a new goddess that has come to my life, and it's really, it's so expansive, Blue. I'm glad you see that. It's so beautiful. So you still want to share anything about your draconian side and what you have learned from it?
Blue, Xiara Blue, can't wait to do the signal that I've made a few times through my mom. I will not waste any time. Here it comes. This is what the Draconians are teaching me. They are beings that have always served themselves. Arcturians have been beings who have always served others. This is both, you could say, off balance. Both of it is off balance. It's not needed to always serve others. It's depleting. It makes something boring. It gets very tedious if you've got all that responsibility on your shoulders. It makes Arcturians want to leave Earth. We are done with serving all the time. Draconians, on the other hand, know very well how to serve themselves, and also they got sick and tired of it. They don't know where to go anymore for new adventures until they get a spark of light and they start glimpsing how it tastes to serve someone else. I believe these two sides, serving oneself and serving others, is getting into balance these days. Balance, balance, balance. And since I carry an Arcturian over-serving lineage, I'm now learning to do more of this, to feel it's okay. I don't have to draw this responsibility or carry these things. It's not for me. I can serve myself. I only have to pay attention to the small shape that I am now, so she grows nicely. I can more often just say, it's not for me. I allow myself to just serve me. This is something I'm learning now, and I'm also shedding off some feelings of guilt and shame that I've picked up also in the human lineage, but also in the Arcturian lineage, because of course also we carry some guilt and some shame. We've also not always been nice, even though we've always had a protection role of guardianing and keeping stability. Sometimes we had to shoot from motherships to maintain peace and stability. This is something that also has caused casualties. Many beings have died, and if we would not have intervened, even more beings would have died and even more planets would have been lost. However, also we have not been angels. We were Arcturians ready to serve. I feel there is a line, a fine line of guilt and shame that's now coming to the surface because I am in a third dimensional human body. The human experience brings up these emotions of which we as Arcturians thought long gone, processed, transcended upon, not for us. We are high dimensional. We live in unity. We know all about peace. However, somewhere deep, 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 hidden within, there is, of course, lower vibrations of all the fights that have been going on so long. This is why I'm very excited. I carry humanoid genome as well. It brings up all those unprocessed emotions that we carry in our collective field and that also you as humans carry in your collective field. We are mirroring each other. Many times I feel that new children are coming to this globe and they will know how to solve all these old traumatic threads that are still running in all these collective fields. The more hybridized children of different races are coming to this earth, we will clear out these fields together. We carry a higher dimensional consciousness. We don't get stuck and lost in a veiled situation in a third dimensional body, processing and working through past lives and karma and whatnot. It's no longer needed. We as small creatures in a higher dimension can clear things much faster from the collective field. This benefits above and this benefits Earth. This is why I chose a sixth dimensional body and not denser. It has been a very conscious decision. I'm coming at peace, you could say, with my draconian side.
That's beautiful. And I think that's how we can create peace, because peace comes from within. And then we share it with our loved ones, our neighbors, in the job, wherever, in our groups. And for that, I see a lot also light workers that maybe have sometimes, I call it sugar-coated, their own experiences with all these spiritual talkings, which is beautiful to recognize that, but it doesn't help us to avoid the real feelings. So for me, it's so beautiful to see Xiara Blue. She's so open and so true, as I sang in the song. She's so open and so true. She has such a beautiful heart, and it's beautiful to see how she has experienced her and found her love here on Gaia. And so I'm so grateful that you took the step. It really touches me how you share your experiences. I love you, dear sweet one. Thanks for being here and supporting and helping us to bring peace between the races. Thank you so much.
Blue, Xiara Blue is very thrilled to have come down. My father immediately donated a song to me that also touched my heart deeply. Arcturians live often in a silent vibration. It's a high quality sound still, you could say, but it's a silent sound. We also don't need to use words any longer to telepathically communicate. It's an instant knowingness what is needed in the field. Therefore, descending more into a materialized realm gives a lot of new qualities to my life. It's a richness, so to say, of the sensings, the sensations of all the elements of different types of food, of sound, music. There is a beautiful way of dancing and using the body to really allow everything to be felt through. I love my dear, dear song. It's a true blessed gift from my dear father, and I know it touches you, and I share that. It's really, truly a very big gift. Blue, Xiara Blue could share much more, but I sense it might not be needed for now. Know that I am a peacemaker. This is the role I took upon myself after serving on Arcturian craft many thousands of years. I was on many councils, boards, small craft, very large mother craft. You can't imagine how wide and spacious these craft are. They can be kilometers long and house millions of beings, and they are stationary just at the outer skirts of certain galaxy rims, you could call it. These mothercraft are amazing floating cities and countries, even you could say, and yet it's incomparable with the experience I have on Earth. This is my last wish for everybody who hears this little recording all the way till the end. Love your home planet. Love Mother Earth. It is a precious planet, and we have tried everything within our Arcturian possibilities to save her from being devastated by sometimes not so kind races. I feel it's an important duty I have here to also remind you to bring peace in your own heart, that you have chosen planet Earth very consciously to be experienced. This is the only thing you need to do and remember. Experience planet Earth as your home planet. I do everything I can within the next 4 months that I'm still in my mother's womb. And after that, you can find me in my dad's garden. There will be small little unmanned craft which will be my working stations, and in these portals of light I can sit and beam myself up to different dimension and also different home craft. I will be living here in my dad's house for the next times to come. However, I will be very easily able to move through the veils, through the dimensions, through different interdimensional portals and gateways, so I can be very flexible in serving all the dimensions to do one thing: balance the fields of peace. Find peace in your own heart simply by being here on earth. Peace is not a matter of creating it, it's a matter of acknowledging it is already there. Find peace in your heart and be oh so pleased that you've picked planet Earth. I send you my deepest greetings. My name is Blue, Xiara Blue. I love you all.
Thank you, Xiara Blue. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy. We love you.
Thank you, Blue.
Bye-bye.
Beautiful. Till the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Oh,
There is
there's Star. Many of you know her. She's our first multidimensional daughter. She was also 6 months in my belly. Almost 5 years ago that I gave birth to her. That's linear time. In her multidimensional time, she's about 11 and a half. Hello, Star. She comes also always in with a kissing hand. Good, good. Mom, Dad, Dad, Mom. Oh, goshy, goshy, gosh. I love my little blue sister. In fact, she's a pretty big sister. She's such a wise creature. Wow, goshy, gosh. I wish I was her. No, 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 that's a joke. However, I really wish I could love Earth the way she seems to do. I have had trouble acknowledging myself landing on planet Earth again. I found it a remembrance of all the lifetimes filled with suffering, and yet now I see my small blue sister, and she is so in deep adoration for this planet that I'm starting to look at it anew, with kinder and softer eyes. My name is Star. I just want to let you know I also kind of love planet Earth. I love her, in fact, very deeply. The thing I sometimes find troubling is the way that humans connect with Earth, or seem to have lost the connection with Earth. And this is why I always want to send extra kissing hands and blessings to Mother Gaia, because she really deserves an extra snuggle from all of us. She is our home planet, and I'm grateful to also be lingering in these realities, even though I don't have to go to school. That's the best choice I've made. Yes, yes. I love you, dear. My name is Star. I send you one more kissing hand from inner Earth down under. I'm in Australia, in inner Earth, Australia, where the Aboriginals teach me how true deep connection with planet Earth is still residing. I love you all. Bye bye. My name is Star. Bye bye.
Thank you, Star.
Nice,
There are
Star.
many Aboriginals. Most of them live in Inner Earth now. We've just learned from Star. Her fiancé lives with them, and she's first time visiting her new tribe there, and they do the rituals, and
Yeah.
it's just beautiful. They keep the high vibration of the Aboriginals and are not lost to whatever drugs and things they've been exposed to on the crust. So many of these disappeared, partially disappeared races live in Inner Earth. And they bring also peace to us, and they've always honored our mother.
Yeah, the wisdom never gets lost. The consciousness never gets lost. It's always there. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Till the next one. We love you.